Could you talk about your tweet? Are you going to leave the U.S. or are you staying here? I'm just asking. You just tweeted it out. Why are y'all so anxious for me to leave? I pay more than you. I won't say that part. Him too.
Everybody keeps saying I said I was leaving. I was doing a Jimmy Kimmel skit. I was portraying a magic 8-ball. You remember that? Did you see that?
I did see that. I'm just asking the question to clear it up. We'll clear it up.
You could have cleared it up by being a smart journalist yourself and saying, you know that was a Jimmy Kimmel skit, right?
How many times S. Trump misspelled Samuel in his rage tweets after getting roasted? Hint, it's more than his golf score on a bad day. Stick around for Trump's spelling, B-fail, and Samuel Jackson's mic drop moment that sent the internet into a frenzy. Quick favor, if you're loving this, hit that subscribe button. Over 92% of viewers haven't yet. It's free, takes a second, and means the world to us. Thanks. If you did, now back to the show. Samuel L. Jackson just took Donald Trump to school on national TV, and it was glorious. The legendary actor appeared on a late-night gig, and when the host casually mentioned Trump, you could see the mischievous glint in Jackson's eyes. He paused, built the tension like only a Hollywood icon can, then boom, unleashed. Zingers so sharp they'd make even Jules from Pulp Fiction. Proud, imagine this. Trump sitting in Mar-a-Lago with his gold-plated phone reading every word and probably rewatching his own tweets to check if he spelled genius. Right? Meanwhile, Jackson was dropping truth bombs faster than Trump could type all caps rants as the laughter dies down. Let's reflect in today's political circus. Sometimes the best comedy comes from real-life legends like Samuel L. Jackson, proving that wit beats bluster. Every time, stay tuned, folks, because if there's one thing we know, it's that Trump won't stop until he tries to trademark zinger.
Donald Trump, you are in a feud with Donald Trump right now. Do you know this?
No, I don't.
Because this is very exciting.
Oh,
for
really?
me, because he doesn't like me either, and so anytime there's somebody new he doesn't like, I feel a fraternity, a brotherhood with him.
Yeah, and I had my assistant call and tell him I don't really belong to that club and I haven't been there in 3 years. And they go, well, you are a member, and here's your member number. Okay, so we're having beef?
You're having beef because I guess you said in an interview that you were a better golfer than him, and then you told a story. Is this true, that he signed you up for one of your golf clubs and didn't tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson compared Trump's presidency to a bad movie plot, saying, you know, those straight-to-DVD films, where the villain is so ridiculous you can't believe anyone would fall for their schemes. Yeah, that was the Trump administration. But unfortunately, it was real life. The audience went wild, and you could practically hear the sound of millions of phones across America firing up to share clips on social media, but Samuel was just warming up. He dropped the mic with a final jab about Trump's infamous very stable genius claim. Trump calling himself a stable genius is like me calling myself a world-class ballerina. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. The only thing stable about Trump is his ability to consistently make bad decisions too.
But somebody did send me something today that said Trump said he didn't know me.
He said he didn't know you. I actually have his tweet right here.
Tweet.
This is very exciting. He's with exposure. He thinks it's very careful to just barely be on TV at all.
Barely get yourself out there.
But is that true? You say you claim right here you have met him.
Yeah, I met him a lot.
You've played golf with him.
I played golf with him.
I don't know Samuel L. Jackson, to the best of my knowledge, haven't played golf with him, and think he does too many TV commercials. Boring, not a fan.
Not a bad thing.
Was struggling to contain his laughter, gasping for air between giggles. As he asked Jackson how he came up with these burns cool as a cucumber, Samuel explained, it's easy when the material writes itself. Trump's like a walking, talking punchline factory. I just collect the goods and deliver them with style now. Now you might be wondering, what exactly did Samuel Jackson say that made Trump so angry? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive into the juicy details that sent the Orange Menace into a Twitter tailspin. Jackson, in his signature Noons style, went straight for Trump's ego. He said, you know, I've played some pretty despicable characters in my time, but none of them come close to the real-life villain we had in the White House. At least my characters had some redeeming qualities like basic reading comprehension.
Of another person that can verify that he knows me. He called me one day. I was here in New York. And was always calling him Samuel L. the Don. Who? The Don.
I got bad news for you. The one person that might not back you up right now in this story is Bill Clinton, because I don't know if he's going to want to say a story that he was golfing with Donald Trump either.
He didn't golf that day.
He didn't golf that day.
He did not golf that
So
day.
who did you end up golfing with?
With Mr. Clinton. Okay, so we're having beef?
You're having beef because I guess you said in an interview that you were a better golfer than him, and then you told the story, is this true, that he signed you up for one of your golf clubs and didn't tell you?
Yeah, and when I got there, it was President Clinton.
Really?
Who could also verify that Donald Trump knows me.
Wow. Here's the bummer.
And Don did show up, and he took Bill in and bought him a jacket and gave me nothing.
That's gotta sting for a guy whose relationship with spelling and grammar is about as creative as his tax returns. But Samuel wasn't done yet. He compared Trump's leadership skills to a toddler trying to pilot a jumbo jet. It's all fun and games, Jackson quipped, until you realized the plan's actually in the air and headed straight for a mountain. The audience was loving it, cheering like they were at a championship game. Jackson kept going, throwing in a zinger about Trump's hair. I've seen more convincing wigs in high school theater production CS. At least those kids admit they're playing make-believe. But the real knockout punch when Jackson looked straight into the camera and said, Trump, if you're watching this, and let's face it, you probably are because you've got nothing better to do. Remember this. Real leaders don't need to tell everyone how great they are. They show it through their actions. And buddy, your actions speak louder than your tweets. Cue collective. Ooze from coast to coast, the studio erupted in applause, and Jackson delivered the entire roast with the calm, collected cool that only he can pull off. It was pure art. Meanwhile, Trump full meltdown mode, faster than you can say. Picture him sitting on his golden toilet throne. Tiny fingers furiously typing out all caps rants while his spell check takes an extended vacation. His first tweet, Samuel Jackson is a no-talent hack who couldn't even act in a B movie. Side note, has Trump ever watched Pulp Fiction? Twitter exploded with memes faster than Trump could type fake news. One showed Jackson holding a dictionary instead of a gun captioned English. Do you speak it? Another had Trump in a spelling bee competition looking utterly confused. Of course, Trump tried to fight back, claiming he'd never seen a Samuel L. Jackson movie. Sad, he declared, to which the internet responded. Trump says he's never seen a Samuel L. Jackson movie. Next, he'll claim he's never eaten a Big Mac or sent a typo-ridden tweet in true Trump fashion. He ended his rant by firing off a classic apprentice line, Samuel Jackson. You're fired. Cue laughter from everyone who knows Jackson doesn't work for him and will likely still be working long after Trump's reality show presidency ends. In the end, it was clear Jackson came armed with wit charm. And decades of Hollywood cred Trump brought well himself, and we all know how that turned out. Classic Trump yelling into the void while the rest of us enjoy the show.
About a little kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
Is it a thing in the press?
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. Come on. He has to say whatever he has to say. He has to say. And it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. No, it's not. Tell me it's not. I mean, really? I mean, out of all the things that need to be dealt with presidentially, he's worried about me saying that he cheats at golf? Or that he doesn't really know me? Is that what the deal is?
It's like it's watching a toddler throw a tantrum, but instead of toys, Trump's throwing tweets. Picture this. Trump's sitting on his golden toilet throne, probably munching on a Big Mac, when he sees Samuel L. Jackson's roast trending. His tiny fingers start twitching, and before you know it, he's rage tweeting like there's no tomorrow, but here's the kicker, while his thumbs are working overtime. His spell check is Mia. First tweet out, Samoa. Jackson is a no-good loser, oops. Twitter explodes with grammar jokes faster than you can say. KF1 user quips Trump's spelling. Skills are about as accurate as his claims of election fraud, not to be outdone. Trump pivots to Jackson's golf game, except he misspells golf as golf at this point. It's clear he's aiming for the world record in most misspellings during a Twitter rant. Meanwhile, Samuel L. Jackson is likely sipping a cool drink somewhere, not giving a single what. It's David versus Goliath, except David's got sick. Burns and Goliath can't even spell his own name. Jackson didn't just roast Trump. He deep fried him with extra crispy seasoning. He compared Trump's presidency to snakes on a plane, to snakes in the White House with better hair. Then came the Pesta resistance channeling Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. Jackson deadpan, I've had it with these mother percent, and snakes in this mother percent, and White House. The crowd went wild. Twitter lit up with memes faster than Trump could type all caps rants. One showed Trump at a spelling beat looking utterly confused. Another had Jackson. Holding a dictionary instead of a gun-captioned English mother parent of mine, do you speak it? As Trump flailed trying to fire Jackson via tweet, the internet roasted him right back. Trump says he's never seen a Samuel L. Jackson movie. One user joked. Next, he'll claim he's never eaten a Big Mac or sent a typo-ridden tweet, and let's not forget Trump's crowning achievement challenging Jackson to a golf match because says nothing screams confidence like a guy who cheats at golf offering to prove. His superiority, Twitter responded swiftly. Trump versus Samuel L. Jackson on the golf course. I'd pay good money to see Jackson yell MTH of penny a mid-swing in the end. Trump's meltdown only proved what we already knew for all his bluster his ego is. Thinner than rice paper. But hey, props to him for spelling his own name correctly. Baby steps, so here we are. Jackson sipping drinks, Trump typing furiously, and the rest of us laughing so hard our abs hurt. Who needs reality TV when you've got this? When